Mike Caselli. Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor, for being with us. What have you been seeing out there?
So for the last 2-3 weeks, we've been seeing the same thing. Small drones. They are around the schools, around the reservoir, around the streets. We are on track to Teterboro Airport, so we do see small planes, and yes, they do mistake them for a drone, but when they hover and they go up and down, these are not planes. As recent as last night during the Christmas lighting ceremony, there were two drones, and then the third one came, and they were in sync, as if someone has a computer program to fly them, and they were right on top of us.
So what do you want to happen? Do you think they should be shot down?
I mean, that might be dangerous, but someone should know. We went to a briefing with the state police and with the director of Homeland Security 2 days ago, and they told us to share this information, which is really nothing. They said these are car-sized drones that stay in the air for about 6 hours. They don't emit any frequency, so they can't catch it, but they don't know where it is leaving from and where it is landing at, which is really, really scary. And there's a genuine fear in at least my community that when they are on top of the reservoir that we drink from, I don't know if they're dropping anything there. They are surveying, they're taking pictures. All that is unknown, and that's what's really frustrating.
You say they can't be tracked. Why can they not be tracked?
So that's the briefing that we got from the state police superintendent. They don't emit any frequency. I have a small
So they're
drone.
not picked up on a radar, is what you're saying?
They're not picked up on, exactly. I have a small drone. It's a handheld drone. If I fly it over 400 feet, I get a message, I am in violation, and to drop to below 400 feet. At 400 feet, it's about the size of a penny for my eyesight. These are the size of a small dining room table, small car, at least.
The residents in your area, you say, are concerned about the reservoir. What do you have on the reservoir to make sure that it's not being tampered with? I mean, I assume you have real-time sensors to make sure that all of the levels within that water are still safe to drink.
Yeah, so the water company does that for us. It is fenced all around, but these are flying. So they're flying on top of the reservoir, the schools, the electric substation. And the fear is that we don't know who's flying them. And that's where my residents are asking, who are these? And why all of a sudden, and why they are flying in sync? There is an organized program that is making them fly that way.
Are you worried that you might have some residents trying to take these things down themselves?
I think if they come down to an eye level, I see someone throwing a rock at it, but I don't think we'll use anything more dangerous.
One of the questions I have is, if it were a foreign adversary, and again, there's no evidence so far suggesting or pointing to that, there's been no intelligence release that we can say says that's the case. If they were for nefarious purposes, why would they be lit up like that? I mean, if you were flying a drone and you were trying to do surveillance on another country to gather intelligence, I mean, I don't know that I would put on a bunch of blinking lights, especially if it was the middle of the night. You'd want to not only not be picked up by radar, but not be picked up by the human eye.
Exactly. You would go dark. The fact that engineers, when they survey at night because there are no cars and there is no disruption. So that makes sense. The fact that they use lights means they are registered with the FAA, you would think. But no one has, to my knowledge, as of this moment, said, yes, we know who they are are okay, don't worry about it. No one can tell us who owns these drones, and that's what's scary.
One of the reasons this makes it concerning for folks, especially lawmakers, is that there were a bunch of drones hovering over military sites, naval sites in Virginia last year. And the Pentagon had questions about that. There's still some serious concern within the Pentagon about what exactly was going on there. There was also evidence that a Chinese student, was flying some drones around there, and he was never charged. But when police stopped him and eventually let him go because they had nothing on him, he got in a plane and went back to China. This is according to reporting from the Wall Street Journal. So there's certainly a heightened level of concern out there regarding the use of drones. If you were talking to somebody within the federal government who could address this stuff, what would be your suggestion in order to make your residents feel safer, but also to make you feel safer?
I think there's two things that they can do right away. Number one, declare a no-fly zone for drones. If a drone is in the air, then that drone is up there illegally. Shoot it down. The second thing, there's about 700, 800,000 registered drones that they can go and track. Do you have your drone? It's some work to be done, but that's the only way to go back and track who is flying these drones. When I fly my drone, I get a message if I'm in violation, and that's a handheld drone.
Maybe just not allowing drones, period, if we can't figure out which is an amateur drone and which is not an amateur drone. And there's also a lot of privacy questions around just anyone flying a drone out there and what they can see and what people are entitled to on the ground. Mayor Ghasali, thank you very much. We hope you get some answers soon. We hope to get some answers soon as well.